With me now in studio, Emily Landau, Senior Research Fellow with INSS. So it does seem that this is evidence, right? That Iran was openly violating the nuclear deal. Why else would rugs in a warehouse possibly have radioactive material?
This is really incriminating evidence. First of all, it's good news to learn that the IAEA actually visited the warehouse several times.
Because of Netanyahu's public insistence that they do that.
It took them a while, and it wasn't clear that they would find traces after so much time, because obviously the Iranians were not sitting idly by and probably were trying to clean up the warehouse. But they visited several times, and according to reports, they have found traces of radioactive material. Now, this means that they were holding this way after the JCPOA. So it's no longer a situation. Many, said, well, the nuclear archives only relate up to 2003. It's not after the JCPOA. This is after the JCPOA, and it's a violation of the NPT.
It's not the only recent evidence that has emerged indicating Iran has been for years violating the deal. We spoke before that Iran, a few days ago, threatened to reopen a very powerful, the Arak nuclear enrichment site. As part of the deal, they were supposed to dismantle it, pour cement, right? They were supposed to put cement into some of these pipes, but they say they can get it back open in 2 weeks, by the end of the month. So how could that happen if they were abiding by the JCPOA? This is yet another damning piece of evidence, correct? In the link.
Here, it's not only Iran that was deceiving, it's actually the P5+1, because they said that they would pour cement into the core and that it would be rendered inoperable. And in the end, they only poured it into the surrounding pipings. And then we learned later that Iran admitted that they just didn't say that they had already purchased additional piping and they can switch it. And so it's really a sham. I mean, this deal was supposed to deal with certain things, and we also have new evidence with regard to Fordow. Yeah. A report came out by the ISIS in Washington, a think tank that David Albright, that follows this issue very closely, and they say that Fordow has not been reconfigured according to what they had agreed in the Iran nuclear deal, and very quickly Iran can switch those 1,000 centrifuges that were left in Fordow and have them start enriching uranium. And remember, Fordow is a fortified underground facility that it will be difficult to bomb if anyone, has that in mind down the line. And according to the nuclear archives, we know that Fordow was meant to produce 1 to 2 bombs worth of high enriched uranium a year.
But the JCPOA cap was 3.67%. New evidence that they're past that, but it's at 4.5%, maybe 4.6%. That doesn't seem like a big jump from 3.5 to 4.5. How significant is that jump? Does it indicate that they can keep going as much as they want, or are they kind of at a limit now?
Well, they say they can continue going on, and this is very worrying. I mean, yes, to 4.6 is not too big a jump, and it's more a political message to the Europeans. This is what we can do, help us get sanctions off our back, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. But again, together with this new information with regard to Fordow, they could be planning to enrich to 20% at Fordow. And, they said we can enrich this fortified site, this underground site, this one that's much more difficult to... I mean, there's no reason that they left Fordow open. They could do the activities that they were supposed to be doing at Fordow at Natanz. They could use those 1,000 centrifuges to work on isotopes, which was what they were supposed to be doing at Fordow, but they're not doing. Right. And but the fact that Fordow hasn't been changed and remains open really is a huge risk.
All right, Dr. Emily Landau breaking it down for us again. This report really of possibly radioactive rugs, radioactive warehouse, yet another piece of incriminating evidence.
And a real violation of the NPT and the JCPOA. This is super important.
All right, Dr. Landau, thank you so much for your analysis.